Hi guys, welcome to Estibella Design. My name is Esther Pra. If this is the first time you are joining us, you're highly welcome. And if you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back. So in today's video, we are going to be making a beautiful top. It's going to be having a built-up neckline. You can see it on your screen now. This is what you are going to be making, and this tutorial is super easy if you pay attention. So what we have here is, as usual, our basic bodice block. This is very important on this channel. I always say that. So the only difference between the basic bodice block and this is our underbust line, my shoulder to underbust line. You see it, I drew it. Mine is 13 inches, so I marked it and I turned it into a straight line. So that's my shoulder to underbust. So the next thing I want to do is to tighten. This is a bustier. What we are making is a bustier, so we have to tighten our underbust. So my underbust measurement is 28. That's my round underbust measurement is 28 inches. 28 inches divided by 4 is going to give me 7 inches. So I'm going to tighten my underbust. From here, I'm going to come out by ½ inch. I'm going to come out by ½ inch here. Okay, then I'll get what I have remaining from the starting point. This is my starting point line. I'm going to get what I have remaining. So I have 2.75. So I'm going to take this 2.75 out here. From this line, I'm going to take 2.75 out. Then I'm going to mark my 7 inches. So this is my 7 inches. I'm going to mark it. So this is my underbust tightening. So I'm going to connect these lines now. I'll go ahead and connect these lines. If you don't know how to tighten your underbust, I have a detailed tutorial on how to tighten your underbust, so you can watch that video and you'll catch up. But with this explanation that I just did, you should be able to get it. So I'm going to connect it. Make sure when you are connecting your underbust contouring, make sure you are using the head. Make sure the head of your curve is upward like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to determine how deep I want my overbust to be, because it's going to be having a sweetheart neckline. So what I will do first of all, there's something you can do to know how much you are going to be revealing. You can take from your underbust, this is just a tip. So from your underbust, just get from your bust point to your underbust, whatever you have. I have 3.5. So this 3.5, just mark it round. Just mark the 3.5 round like this, as if you are using a compass. So from this point, do not move your tape. Just be moving. Do not move your tape at this point. This is your bust point line. So just be marking 3.5 round, 3.5 round, 3.5 round. Mark it round. It will give you a circle. So that circle, just connect the lines. You see, this is the circle. I don't want to use my marker pen for this because this is just an alteration. I don't know if you can see it, but you will get a circle like this. So this circle will guide you so that you are not going to expose too much, like you're not going to expose your bust too much. So for me, I'm going to use it to connect my sweetheart neckline that I want to use. So if I get what I want, then I'll use my marker pen to highlight it. So let's just do it like that first. Okay, so I think I'm fine with this. So let me connect it. You can decide what you want to use for yours. So this is what I would like to use for mine. Okay. So this is going to be my sweetheart neckline. Okay. I think I'm okay with that. So on this line, I'm going to get everything I have on this my shoulder line. This is my shoulder slant. I'll divide it into two. I'll get the midpoint. This is the midpoint. Then I'll connect it to my bust point. Okay. So on this line that it intersects, this line that intersects my sweetheart neckline, I'm going to contour my overbust. So here I'm going to contour my overbust, and I'm going to contour it with 0.75 on each side. I want it to sit perfectly on my chest. So I'm going to contour it with 0.75. But if you're a plus size, if you have a full chest, you can contour with 1 inch. So I'm going to connect it back to my bust point. Okay, so you see, we have tightened our overbust and we have tightened our underbust. You can see it looking good, but there's something we need to do. We need to true this line, because if we cut it out like this, it will not match up. So we need to make sure that this will match up. So after connecting to your underbust, you need to connect it back to your waistline. After contouring your underbust, you need to connect it back to your waistline. So I'm connecting back to my waistline. Okay, and on this part, instead of me connecting down here, I'm going to come out by 1/4 inch, because I don't want to have a slant line there. So I'm going to come out, you see it. So let me measure what I came out by so that I can return it back. This is a 1/2 inch, so I'm going to return the 1/2 inch back. Then I'll connect it. I'll use my pencil to connect it back. I don't want it to mess up my pattern. So when I'm cutting, I know I'm not cutting on this marker line, I'm cutting on this pencil line. Okay, so let's continue. I want to true this dart. So let me just open the center dart line. I'm just opening it temporarily first. Okay, so I'm free to close this dart now. Okay, so you see it's easy now to close because I've opened the waist dart. So if you notice, you can see where this part is and see where this part is. You can see, if I sew it like this, they will not match up. This one will be longer than this one. So now we have the opportunity to blend it. Okay, so this is our new line. So after connecting this line, you can just use your tracing wheel to trace the part, so that when you open up, you see the line that it intersects. Okay, so that is done. We'll open it back. Okay, so let me trace out. You might not be able to see my own, but you will see yours when you do yours. Okay, so this is the line. So this is the new. So you see, when I'm cutting, I'm not going to cut on this line. I'll cut on this line. You see it? That is our new line. Okay, so we are done with our overbust contouring and we are done with our underbust contouring. So the next thing I want to do, this dress has like a built up collar, built up neckline. So what I want to do for that part of the built up collar, I'm going to bring another paper and I'm going to trace from here, from the top here. I'm going to trace to my bust point so that this exactly this appears on my other paper, because when I cut this out, I still want the upper part, the built up neckline, to get to the armhole. If you see the picture or the video of the style we are making, you understand what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to trace out from the top here to this chest line, to the shoulder to bust point line. So let's trace it out. Exactly what we have here, we are going to trace it out on another paper, so that by the time we cut out this our bustier, we will still have what to alter. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. So let's trace out. So I'm going to get another paper and put underneath it like so. Let's trace out. Okay guys, so I'm going to remove it. then I'll mark it. You might not be seeing it, but me, I'm seeing it. So I'm going to trace it out now. So let me trace it off camera. I finished tracing out, so this is the traced out pattern. So let's just keep it aside first. We'll work on it, but let's keep it aside. Let's just finish with this part. We'll come back to this. So I've kept it aside. So the next thing I want to do is to, you know, since we have tightened this overbust, this part will be shortened, our armhole will be shortened. So what I'll do is half of what I use in tightening here, I use 1.5 because I use 0.75 on both sides. I'm going to add half of it. That means I'm going to add 0.75. Half of what we use in tightening, I'm going to add it. So this is it. So I'm just going to continue this, my neckline. I'm just going to continue this overbust. Then I'll connect it back to my armhole. So that means I'm not going to have shortage on my armhole. So I'm adding it back so that I'm not going to have any shortage. So that is done. Now we can cut out this lower part, then we'll work on the upper part. But before we cut it out, let's work on this back part. There's no much alteration to do on the back. We're just going to hold the waist that. The only thing we are going to do, we are going to alter the neckline into the built up neckline. And for us to do that, this is what will happen. Just check your ruler. You will see most of the rulers have it. You will see this angle 90. So just bring the angle 90. There's a straight line in the middle of the angle 90. I don't know if you can see it. There's a straight line in between. So this straight line, place it on your neck width. You see it. Then get the angle 90. So I'm placing the straight line there. Then this is my angle 90. I'm going to mark it. This is my angle 90. So I'm going to connect it like so. So I'm going to connect it. So I've connected it. So it depends on how high you want your built up neckline to be. I want mine to be 2 inches. So I'm going to mark 2 inches from here. You see it. I've marked 2 inches. 2 inches. So that's my 2 inches. So the next thing I'll do is to just take this up. This is my straight line that's coming from my center back. I'll just take it straight up. Then I'll turn this part into a straight line. From where I marked 2 inches, I'll just connect it like so. Then I'll come down. From this part now, I'll come down by 1/2 inch. I don't know if you're seeing what I'm doing. So then I'll just connect the line with a curve. Okay, so this will be my new neckline. Are you seeing it? This will be my new neckline. So I'm just going to cut it out. I don't know if you understand. I did my angle 90 and I measured the height of my built up neckline, which is 2 inches. So this is it. And I just made this place into a straight line. Then I just curved the neckline by 1/2 inch. We just want to make it come down a bit by 1/2 inch. So that's what I did. So now I can cut out. So I'm cutting out the back. The back, just sew your waist that. That's all we are going to do on this back. We'll sew our waist that. Then now I'm cutting this lower part. See the part I'm cutting for the front. I'm cutting my bustier out. You see, this is what I'm cutting. Then we'll work. After we cut this bustier, we'll now work on the yoke. This is the yoke. We'll work on it. So let's cut out our bustier. So we're not going to use this. We're not going to use this yoke because I've already traced out the yoke we're going to be using. So I'm going to take this all away. So this is our bustier and this is our back. This is our back pattern. It's matching up, and this is our built up neckline. So let's take care of the yoke for the front. Let's keep this aside. Now let's work on the yoke. First, let's introduce our built up neckline for the front. So I'm going to do the same thing I did for the back. I'm going to get my angle 90. So this is my angle 90, and I'm going to put that straight line in between the two angle 90 lines. I'm going to put that straight line to match up with my neck width. So like this. Okay, it's matching up now with the neck width. Then this is my angle 90. I'm going to mark the point there. Then I want the length, the height of my, built up neckline to be 2 inches. So I'm going to mark 2 inches. Okay, so this is 2 inches. So this is where my this is where my neckline is going to end, the height. So now I can now get the shape of my neckline, and I want this yoke is going to get to this chest line. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use my pencil to trace it first. Okay guys, so after getting what I want, I will highlight it with a marker pen. Okay, so this is what I want for my yoke. So after getting this, we're going to tighten at this point where this shoulder line intersects. You see it at this point where this shoulder line intersects the curve, intersects this our yoke style line. I'm going to tighten it. We're going to tighten it with half of what we tighten the bustier with. We tighten the bustier with 1.5. So half of 1.5 is 0.75. So I'm going to tighten this part with 0.75. So I'm going to share that 0.75 on both sides, and it's going to give me 0.3 on both sides. So I'm going to mark it. So I'm going to connect it back to the shoulder to terminate at the shoulder. Okay, I know there are too many lines there. You might be getting confused. So when you want to trace out this, don't trace out the overbust tightening, so that you don't have too much lines. But I already traced out the overbust tightening. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So now I'm going to close the dart. So it terminates at the shoulder here. Make sure it terminates. And if you look at what has happened here, the line has alternated. So just redraw your line. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we're going to cut the yoke out now. So this is our yoke. This is our built-up neckline. Okay, you can also add back. You just add a little on your armhole so that you don't have any shortage. Okay, so this is what I'm going to have. So let's bring back our pattern pieces. So if we bring our pattern pieces together, this is what we are going to be having. This is our center front. So by the time we join here together like this, then we'll bring our yoke like this. You see it? So the front will be like this, and this is the back. You see it? This is the back. So this is the drafting process. We'll transfer it to fabric. I hope you have found value in this tutorial. If you do, give it a thumbs up and share this video and drop a comment. Thank you so much for stopping by. In our next video, we'll transfer to fabric and we'll sew it. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.